everyone, my name is Iridor Guath, and today we are playing Minecraft. I hope you're all doing well during these really difficult times. I'm definitely staying at home. I'm playing Minecraft again. It's been a while, but I'm having a ton of fun playing this mod pack. And I hope you're also, you're watching Minecraft videos, so you must probably also be staying at home. That's good because we all need to do that if we want to beat this crisis. Anyway, let's get back to what we're really doing. So we're playing Minecraft, but not just any kind of Minecraft. You probably already saw the machines in here and you saw the rubber trees and you're wondering, well, what kind of mod pack this is? Well, you probably also read the title, but this is a mod pack called ArchitPack Greg. ArchitPack Greg, made by Architect Redeem. And he's made a fantastic mod pack, truly, because I've played GregTech before. Like, the main time I played was actually my last few videos on this channel were about a mod pack that included GregTech. That mod pack was made for Minecraft 1.7.10, while this mod pack is made for 1.12.2, and it focuses on GregTech Community Edition, which is a completely rewritten version of GregTech, based mostly, or at least it's most closely related to GregTech 5 unofficial, but it also is inspired by GregTech 4 and by GregTech 6, and it's a relatively lightweight mod pack. Like, there's not a ton of mods. It's like 50 or so, or 60 or so, and like the main mods that are include applied energistics 2. Of course, you want to be able to make a good storage system, and that mod is just perfect for that, of course. It contains forestry as well, Tinker's Construct. It contains a small addition to GregTech Community Edition called Shadows of Greg. It also includes Open Computers, Project Red, Realcraft, and also thermodynamics. So specifically the pipes and tubes from or the ducts, I should say, from thermodynamics. Not any of the machines or the energy system or anything. That's all done by GregTech, really. And a lot of the kind of utility kind of mods you see a lot, those are not really included. It's really relatively lightweight, which is nice because it really focuses on one mod, which is actually what I like, because most of the time you want to play one mod, but you don't want to completely play it in isolation, because there's a lot of other stuff that add a lot to the game. So that's why these relatively lightweight packs are, I think, actually really nice. So I've enjoyed myself a lot here. So let me talk to you about what we're doing. So this, as you can see, I didn't just start today. You can already maybe see some of the machines. We'll go through it a bit more, because let me walk in here. I'm already roughly at what you would call the low voltage stage. So that's the first tier of GregTech that uses electricity. I have a bunch of machines, as you can see already, and I didn't record anything prior to this, and the reason I did that mostly is because, well, honestly, the reason is I didn't think I was ever going to record this again. I didn't think I was ever going to play or record Minecraft again and make YouTube videos. But the reason I'm doing this is because I think it'll make it more fun for myself to, and it forces me to work more structured, I think, as well. And hopefully I'll be able to provide at least some form of entertainment, and if not entertainment, hopefully some help, some education on how GregTech works, in particular Community Edition, and how you can do things. So of course, this mod pack, there's some changes to the basic GregTech by the mod pack maker. A lot of recipes are changed. It includes the Shadows of Greg, an addition, as I said. So not everything might be exactly as the standard version of GregTech Community Edition is, but it should be, the idea is the same. So I want to give you a short introduction to, well, like GregTech, just in general, like, how do you start, and how did I start it? What did I all do already in this world? So I've been playing on this world for, I can tell you, already quite a few hours. Well, a bit more probably than a few hours, and the reason that it takes so long is because the GregTech, everything takes quite long. That's already something I can tell you, and it also took me quite a long time, because I had to get started all over again. I hadn't played Minecraft in quite some time. I had to get used to it again. I had to get myself acquainted with the new stuff, And I had to especially get myself acquainted with this new mod because it's definitely different from the older version that I played. So let me go to bed here real quick. So you start off in the Steam Age. You can make bronze relatively easily already. And with bronze, you're able to make these first kind of machines, these steam macerators, because you're gonna have to build these coal boilers, and you're gonna have to put coal in them and water, which at first you have to kind of do manually, which is absolutely terrible. But you're gonna have to use these steam machines, which run directly on steam, to start smelting your first ore and build your first things. And it's terrible, because to keep up these machines, if you put coal in them, the temperature rises, and only when it reaches the top does it start efficiently producing steam. And if they run out, they cool down again. There's a lot of coal wasted, so you have to consistently keep going to add coal and mine more coal and keep them constantly running if you want your machines to be able to keep running. And that makes it quite challenging and quite a pain, honestly, to get through the first part. So that's why I'm actually happy that I'm already here at this stage, because I already have my basic machines, like all the machines basically I have, which already means that like half of all the recipes are already in a way accessible. Like half the things you can do are already accessible. And that makes a big difference. It makes a lot of recipes a lot easier. It prevents a lot of trouble and all of extra work you have to do. So things really help. So how do you advance, to the stage? Because like all these machines, they use steel. So at first, no, bronze is your main material. Like these machines, they're made mostly using bronze, as you can see from the color as well. But you need steel. So for that, you're going to need a primitive blast furnace, because the electric one, which I'll show you in a second, is not yet available. You still need to get some stuff for that. And let me also show you this. This is like a completely mined out coal vein. So lignite coal vein. And as you can see, it's a pretty big vein, right? Yeah, well, GregTech, they don't have these small veins Minecraft does. They have these huge veins. Like, materials are much rarer, but once you actually find them, I mean, you're set for quite a while. Especially some materials you only need a bit of, and one vein will be more than enough, more than you'll ever need, basically. All things like iron and copper, and as you can see, coal, you might actually be able to just completely empty out the vein, as I did here. It's pretty big. And I plunked down like one of these old blast furnaces just to show you, you have to put a ton of coal in here with iron able to get steel. Like it's really a pain. It takes quite some time for these to run. I had like 4 of them running most of the time, and I had to constantly basically mine coal, which is why this entire thing is obviously emptied out. And like as I said, like the veins and everything, to keep track of them as you explore, thankfully I have Journey Map is in this mod pack, and I just write down every time I find a vein. I just put down a waypoint, and when I need to find something, I need to find copper. Oh, I'll just turn this on. I'll go there and I can mine it. And it makes sense, and it's really nice, especially for a lot of materials, because you just often need a lot at once. And if you have to just keep strip mining everything, it's just really boring. Here you can just go exploring, search for veins, and then you're just set for at least a while. And I think it's a great change. Although with really rare materials like diamond, for example, it took me forever to find my first diamond, like, which are important because your first macerator, your electric macerator, it requires diamond. So you really need it if you really want to get started and actually get to do some stuff. But I found it eventually, and once you find it, you have, well, I mean, I only mined like a small portion of the vein, and I have like 1.5 stacks of ore basically. So, I'm set for a while. Okay. Anyway, let me show you. So I showed you the primitive blast furnace, right down there. So I'm already basically done with low voltage, because at the end of low voltage tier, basically, you can move on and you can start building this thing, this monstrosity. It's called an electric blast furnace, and this is like coil that like heats up the material. And you can use it to smelt aluminium. And aluminium is the main material you need for the next tier if you want to really start building better machines at higher voltage. I haven't really done it yet, I've like smelled like 30. Right now I'm just using it for to create more steel, really, because I'm still needing that a lot. And to create steel, you actually need oxygen in order to be able to produce it in this machine. which I'll show you a system in a second. This is a small smelting system. If you just put your stuff in here, it will go through. As you can see, I'm using thermodynamics item ducts. They're like the thermodynamics are just a lot more convenient than the GregTech system. It just works a bit better and is a bit more controllable, which is why I'm using it. And of course, it's in the modpack, so why wouldn't I use it? Of course. And for example, like in GregTech, you need like all these pumps and stuff to get items out. Here, of course, you have the thermodynamics servos, and machines don't push these items out of themselves. Like thermodynamics, that can happen, but here you really have to use a servo to actually get them out. And you require to everything is Gregified in this mod pack, as it said. You need iron plates and a pump, and I can tell you pumps are a pain to make. Like you need a motor, like iron rod, cables. You need these bronze pipes, these rotors, these curved plates. Although some of these, as you can see, these curved plates are added by the add-on. I'm pretty sure that in the actual normal version, it's not this terrible to make. Anyway, I did it though, and eventually once you do it, it's definitely very satisfying. So let me tell you real quick about the electricity system, because I think that's relevant to get an idea of what GregTech is about. So most Minecraft energy systems, you have a generator, you have a cable, and it has a certain capacity, and you just hook it up to another machine, and you don't really have to worry about anything. Here, though, power storage, you need like batteries first of all, and those are, they're not terribly hard to make, but that already requires some extra investment. And as you can see, these cables are called 4x cables, 4x10 cables, and what it means is 4 times basically. You need like 4 cables in one, and that means that they are able to handle a current of 4 amps. And yeah, there's actually like current and there's voltage in this system, and together they form energy, like just like in real life. And some machines, they require like quite some energy. Like for example, a fluid extractor can require quite some energy, or an electrolyzer. And if you don't put them close enough to these buffers, to the energy sources, there's going to be energy loss, because every block you lose 1 volt basically. And you need to compensate with that if you want to be able to do the recipe with extra amps. And normally a machine can take 1 amp, but it can take more if it needs to fulfill its recipe requirement if it's not getting the full voltage. And these cables only have a maximum amount of amps that can go through them. It makes sense, but a 4 times cable can handle 4 amps, which means that there's only really 4 machines that can be running at the same time here. And these are connected to 4 of these battery buffers, each with 1 battery. So as you can see, each battery can produce 1 single amp. If I would add another one of these and put another battery, this cable would catch on fire and get destroyed. So you have to be really careful with things. Same here, it's a similar system. They each have their own battery buffers to, so I don't have to, otherwise I'd have to use a lot more if I want to be able to have them running at once, So now I can have 4 and 4 machines running at once. Otherwise I'd have to upgrade all the cables to ×8, which means I need double the amount of cables, which is, not fun. So where am I getting my energy from? I used to have these high pressure boilers, and I just put coal in them, and then went into these steam turbines. But these boilers are a pain because of the heat up time required that I told you about, and you have to keep them constantly running. And coal, is also a pain to mine. Thankfully, really close by, we have a nice oil well. It's right over here. As you can see, it's quite deep, but the actual well, it's enormous. So I'm gonna still have oil for quite some time. I don't have to worry about that. And to actually get something out of it, you need to actually use some distilleries and need to actually do some chemical reactions and stuff, which is really cool. What I love about GregTech, So you have this oil that turns into light oil. You get from this to oil into sulfuric light fuel, and you need hydrogen, which you can get using an electrolyzer by turning water into hydrogen and oxygen. And you can then combine these things to remove the sulfur basically and get light fuel. And the light fuel I burn in these diesel generators, which are really nice because they only run when they need to basically. And I also have an air collector here, and then I create oxygen and nitrogen with it. And the oxygen I need, as I said, for the blast furnace. And the nitrogen I actually don't need for anything. It's really cheap to get, so like in the future I need it, but I don't need it right now, so I'm just destroying it. And since there's no void pipe or anything, I need to make this custom Realcraft system. It's pretty neat to actually get rid of it, because like most tanks, they remember their storage, but the only really one I could find that doesn't remember if they're broken is this tank cart. And I can just fill it using this basic Realcraft technology. I just run it against this cactus when it's full. And then it just gets picked up again and injected by the cart dispenser, and the whole process starts again. So it's quite useful, because otherwise I would have to build a massive tank to store all nitrogen, which I definitely don't want to do. I do have a bunch of fuel, a bunch of hydrogen stacked stored, and I also, the oxygen is also all done. Like not anything is really running right now, because everything is at its maximum capacity, which actually, first time in a while. Let me go sleep real quick. So that was basically what I wanted to show real quick about my base. So I mean, that's really it. It's these machines, it's that system for the fluid, it's the blast furnace and the smelter system. And that took me hours upon hours upon hours. And let me show you the storage system real quick. System room. I have a bunch of stuff, but I'm already running short, so I'll have to do a minor run soon, which I'll finally be able to really start making multi-voltage machines, or not multi, I mean medium voltage machines. So once I do that, I'll have some extra resources which I can then use to really start build some better stuff. So that's the next thing I want to talk about. So what am I planning to do? I have this nice factory, but I want more. I want to go to medium voltage. I want to upgrade my kind of energy capabilities. I want to create more automation. I want to be able to make forestry farms. I really want to start gathering some serious amount of resources, and for that I need to upgrade to the next system. So in the next episodes, I'm gonna try and get some more resources. I'm gonna try and get to medium voltage, and we'll see how far we'll get. Probably not all the way, not to like ludicrous voltage, I think it's called, that you can even go to like that. I find unlikely we'll ever get there, because it's just gonna take so much time. But I hope to at least get to high voltage or something and build a nice little factory. And we're going to try and transform this area into really a factory area. Do some nice builds as well, because that's always fun. Minecraft is not just about the technology. Like even these mod packs, it's easy to just focus purely on the machines, but it's still fun to house them in nice places, because it just, if you walk around in the nicer area, it just feels a lot better than if you're just walking around in like a cobblestone hobbit hole or something. That's absolutely terrible. Anyway, that's basically what I wanted to go through today. Like GregTech, it's a great mod. Like it's so complex, it's so deep. There's so much to do, but things can get frustrating, and you have to grind a lot. The mining and getting all the materials and the crafting is an absolute pain. But once you build the system, like I'm basically finished with low voltage now, and it's really satisfying to have that feeling and to really be able to have built all that and actually get through. So I want to keep doing that. I want to keep going and build some more systems, and hopefully we'll be able to do it together, and maybe we'll even have some fun. So that's my plan. For now, I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay home, stay safe, and I will see you